our update roundup for December 2021. I'm actually going to just do a quick check here that we're on live as usual, because sometimes we don't go live and it doesn't work. So it looks like we're live on YouTube.
Woohoo.
And yeah, looks like we're live on we're live on Facebook. Is that live? I think that is live. Yeah. Awesome. Cool. All right. Well, thanks for joining us, guys, for this. Well, I guess it's the last update round of. It's kind of weird. This is the first update round of 2022, but it was for the last month. And we've got some really exciting stuff to share with you guys. So I'm going to just see if I can do this correctly here. Oh, we're gone now. Wait.
There.
Maybe we'll do this, Kevin. There we go. We'll try it this way today.
Cool.
I'm gonna bring my slides up now. All right, cool. Well, first of all, thank you again, as usual, for feedback, support. And there have been a lot of messages of thanking the team too. So we're super thankful to hear that. We really appreciate it, and really thanks to our team that work behind the scenes to keep everything going here at REI Conversion. Also, a big thank you to all of you guys that came out for our classroom series. We don't do this too often. We had the Blue Ocean Land Strategy with Travis King, and that was awesome as usual. And I know we just actually finished the Blue Ocean Land Strategy offer. It actually just wrapped up the moment we started this. But as a surprise for those of you that are still attending, the last hour has been just crazy, trying to get people in the door here and get signed up. And anyways, we're going to extend it up until the moment this ends. So if you still haven't taken advantage of the Blue Ocean Land Strategy, you know the link. Well, I'll tell it to all of you guys that are watching live. It's reiconversion.com/blue-ocean. Get in there. You'll see the bonuses. If you want to get in, you'll need to hit the button to check out. If you're an existing or have been the past member of Pebble or websites, you'll need to email us hello@reiconversion.com and get that in before this wraps up. And we'll hold your spot for you. Okay. So I know there are a few people that we can see sort of the payments going through and credit cards are failing. So you want to clear all that up, get us a message and we'll get you in there. All right. So thank you once again for all those that showed up. We had Mastermind, and we're going to be doing another classroom series in a couple months. So make sure you pay attention to that. Yeah. All right, we're just going to jump right into things, Kevin.
Yeah.
Let's start with the first one here.
Yeah, so this, I think you guys will be very, very happy. We really pushed it at the end of the year here, and we just basically tried to tackle as many features as we could. A lot of these came from hearing feedback from our user base here, and you've really kind of brought some cool ideas up to us, and so we really wanted to make sure that we just knocked out as many of these as we could. So this is going to be an overloaded update roundup, and we'll try to get everything demoed here and show you what's new. So to start with, why don't we flip over to my screen here, and I can start showing some things around.
Yep.
All right, so the big one that you'll probably see as soon as you go into Pebble now is a totally redesigned filter panel. So we had some basic filters before, but we've really tried to push this to the next level. So we've always had the search by offer code APN that works the same way. We now have counties where you can select multiple counties at a time. So let's say you've got 5 Arizona counties that you search for and you want to filter all your Arizona properties. You can quickly just check off those Arizona counties and boom, you got all your Arizona properties. Same with tags. You can filter by multiple tags at a time. And so that can be very helpful. Fields, we've had this before, but we've sort of amped this up a little bit. So you can search by any of your custom fields and you can toggle those on by clicking the select fields. So let's say you want to filter by subdivision. So you can turn that on And now you can filter by a specific subdivision name if you've got a lot of properties in that area. We're going to be continuing to adding new features to this custom fields tab, letting you search for like ranges if you have a number or something in there. For now, it's just text only, but we're going to continue adding that. And then the big thing is our new acquisition and disposition features or filters. So you can go in here and select by different campaigns, select by when mailers were sent. If you're doing blind offers, filter by prices. If you're giving secondary offers when leads come in, you can filter by those offer prices and the dates that those offers were made. And then another thing that's really helpful now is you can use these new exclude all and include all. So this is great if I want to see what are all my active properties. So every property that I've ever gotten a seller lead in, I just want to see all those real quick. Well, I can do that by just clicking include all here. And now this will show only properties that have an associated seller with them. So we would think of those as like an active property or a property that has gotten a lead. So you can really mix and match these. This also applies on the disposition side. So you can search by your buyers or your sale. If you have a sale price and you want to filter all your sold properties, you can do that. And then this brings us to the next feature that we've added, which is allowing you to save your searches. So let's say I do a bunch of filters here and I want to now save this filter for later. So if I want to come back at another time and filter these by the same thing, I can go up to saved searches and type in a new name. So maybe I call this like active properties. I click save. Now that's a new saved search filter. And anytime I can come in here and click my saved searches, and that'll bring up the search I had set previously. So this allows you to really be flexible in how you're kind of pulling things up. And if you're constantly kind of referring back to the same set of properties, you can now save those searches and pull those up again. All right, next on the list, Jesse, what do we got? What do we got there? Multi-county list imports. Yes, so this has been a big one that people have requested a lot. So we really wanted to get this one working here. So I'm going to pull up a campaign and go to my list import. Okay, yeah. So this is the import screen. This will look familiar to most people who have been using Pebble. But we have a new option here, which is our multi-county option. So by default, everything will be single county. That'll work the way you've always known it to work, where you select a county, import a list, and it puts all those properties in that county. But you can now select multi-county if you have a multi-county list. Now, the thing that your list needs to have is a column called a FIPS code. In the US, every county in the US has a FIPS code. It's basically like a zip code, but for the county. It's like a 5-digit code. And most list providers, like if you're coming from DataTree, Priced will be adding this feature or adding this column within the next week if it's not up already. So if you're a Priced user, that will be there.
I believe it is up already. It used to be an optional column. Now it is there.
Awesome. So that'll be available. And then most other list providers have the FIPS code. So you would just choose your file and then, well, I can just pull up a random file here. I'm always on the spot when I have to do this, but let's just pull up this one here. So I'll upload that. And then you'll see on the next column, it's going to ask for your county FIPS code here. So this will be the first column. You'll find that county FIPS code. You can also add, if you're, say, pulling your own list from, say, a county website or something, you can also add this column yourself and just look up the FIPS code for that county. And you'll select that FIPS code column, and then you can have your multi-county uploads, and we'll make sure to categorize those properties into the correct counties. Cool.
Awesome. One thing I do want to talk about multi-county here. Sorry, Kevin, did I cut you off? Anything else?
No. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Especially when you're thinking about if you're running any split tests, really think carefully. Do you want to segment your list by county, or does it matter to you? Just and why we had it as county, so it allows you, because we track response rates, it allows you, gives you a better reading of that county. So do you sort of use when you're using multi-county, do keep that in mind, especially when you're doing split testing. It's very common for a lot of our users that will maybe do one letter for half the county, another letter for that half, the other half of the county. So
Mhm.
just kind of go through that process and be very aware. I think if you're going to use multi-county. Yeah.
Mhm.
All right.
All right.
Uh,
Multi-county listed. Unlimited property exports. So this is pretty straightforward.
oh,
Basically,
yeah.
we have the ability to export all of your property data. So you can select your properties and you can export those. We've always had that, but now you can export an unlimited number. So before it would time out if you were trying to export more than, I think, about 10,000. Now that timeout is no longer there. If you export 20,000, 50,000, doesn't matter. What it'll do is pull up a little window where you can watch that export being generated, and you can come back later and download that at any point in time. So that's how that works. Saved import settings. So yeah, this is a sort of just a time saver option. So for those who are importing lists, I guess I don't really
Sorry,
need
it's Kevin had here. I didn't pull it up, but this was where you'll find your exports. Sorry about that, Kevin.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You'll be able to find your exports on here.
Yep. So if you go up here to on your property screen and click View Exports, this will show you all of your previous exports that you've generated, and this can be now unlimited. So as many as you want to export, and we'll download those. They might be pretty big files if you're downloading tens of thousands of records, but just something to keep in mind. So the last thing there was that we will remember the column names from your
This is huge.
previous import. So for those of you who have a lot of custom fields and you like to import from your list provider all the data into those custom fields,
Yeah.
previously you would have to go and set those every time. We would default the kind of basic fields. So like if you're
Mhm.
coming from data tree, we had that pre-select where you could automatically set the data tree columns, but we wouldn't do that for all of your custom fields. Now, if you set your custom fields once, the next time you import a list will default those selections from the last list you imported. So big
Yeah.
time saver there.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. All right. So why don't we go over what's coming up ahead here? Or sorry, no, we're still on some
You even got
more updates here.
you even got more. Yeah, so blazing fast page loads. So yeah, we did some behind the scenes things to make pages load faster. So there's a bunch of technical details of how that works, but what you should notice now is as you're clicking around Pebble, things will just feel snappier. And
Yeah.
then next is limiting notifications. So if you go into your account screen, let me pull this up here.
Sure. One sec. Can I just address that blazing
Oh yeah, yeah.
fast page loads? One other thing, I get a lot of questions too. A lot of people are wondering, can we use this on the mobile? Is there a mobile app? There isn't a native mobile app, but this I used to demo this with a TV behind me, and my phone would be
Mhm.
Chromecasted, and you can see how snappy this darn app is on mobile. So if you want to know how to save it as an icon on your home screen, we have an article on that. I mean, it's pretty straightforward, but a lot of people do run their Pebble on their mobile or tablet, so it is optimized for your mobile and tablet experience as well. So do give that a shot if you're always on the go with those kind of devices, especially like if you take calls and you need to pull something up quickly. Just an icon on your screen will bring you right into Pebble. So do
Yep.
check that out.
And we are going to be continuing to improve that, so expect
Yeah.
some updates there as well. So yes, now to notifications. So if you go to your account screen, you can now turn on and off your email notifications. So a big one here is for those who don't want to be notified every time a new lead email comes in. If you're really crushing it and you get a lot of lead emails and you just don't want to deal with them, you can turn those off. So here on the automated lead generation, you can just click toggle off email and you won't get those emails anymore. Same for mentions. If somebody mentions you or if you're assigned to a seller or a buyer lead, you can turn those emails off. They'll still show up in your notifications panel, but you will not be emailed about them. So nice to have there.
Awesome. Okay, let me bring back the other screen.
Reordering tasks. Yes. So this has been a big one. People have really loved the new task feature that we have. So let me pull up a seller lead here, and I'll add my due diligence checklist. So we can now reorder our tasks. This is both for templates and for when you have your task list here. So if you just want to put those tasks in an order, you can do that now. Just drag drop like you do elsewhere throughout Pebble, and that's how that works.
Yep. Awesome. All right, let's jump into what's coming up ahead here.
Yes. So this is a whole new kind of feature set around mailing. So I'm going to pull up a property here, and let's see here. Oh, no, not that one. Sorry, I'm on the wrong screen here. Yeah, that's right. It does keep getting better. Whoa, where am I? Hold on. I get lost in all the Chrome windows I've got. Okay, back here. Okay, so if I go to properties, I'm going to pull up a property here, and this is specifically useful for sending neighbor letters. So a lot of people love doing our neighbor letter option here. So I've got a neighbor letter for this property here. I'm going to pull that neighbor letter up so you can see that this is, as we load it. Yep. So this is my my basic neighbor letter. I've got some images, and the idea here is that I just purchased this property, and before I even market it, before I reach out to my my real estate agent if I have one, or before I list it on Craigslist or Zillow or anything like that, I'm just gonna I'm going to send a letter to all the neighbors. I have personally had a bunch of success doing this, and it's a quick way to just flip a property without having to put any effort into anything. So, so I've got my neighbor letter here, and we've got a new mailing window. So mailings are here, and so I'll click send new, and you'll see this screen is familiar to the last to what we've had previously, but we've added a bunch of new options. So we'll put your default return address here. You can change those if you'd like, and then we have our recipient addresses. So by default, we've got choose your recipient addresses. You can either select one that's associated with this property already. In this case, just the owner of the property. But I can also very soon we'll also have your buyer and seller contacts in here as well, so you'll be able to quickly select those as well. And you can also just enter a new address if you just want to type in an address that you have on file. You can upload a CSV. So if you're getting a list, say if you're pulling a list from data tree for a bunch of neighbor letters you want to send, you can just upload that CSV file straight into Pebble. And then a big thing now is you don't have to have specific column names. So I can show how this would work. Yeah, let's just pull this up. So I'm going to upload this file, and it will now let you choose the column headers. So this is a big deal. Before you had to have like line 1, line 2, city, state, zip in your column specifically. Now you can select those columns and do whatever you want to there. So you can upload any list and then select the columns here, click import addresses. In this case, I'll do that. And I've got my addresses from that CSV. And the last thing that we allow you to do is to select addresses from a map. So this is the big new feature that we're showing today. You click select from map, and this is going to bring up your property on the map with all of the parcels around it. So here's my property. I can zoom out to see all of
This is wild.
the parcels around here. So let's say I want to target this subdivision over here. Well, I can just start selecting parcels. So here I've got 4 parcels selected, and I can just click add addresses, and boom, those parcel owner details will be listed, and I can send those. But even more impressive is I can select a whole square of parcels. I can just go in here, select this whole subdivision, 55 parcels, all set there, and now I can just add all of these addresses. Boom. And there we've got all of those neighbors ready to go. I can just verify that they all look good. And then I can click submit here. It's going to say, are you sure you want to send 55 letters? Click send. And this is going to start sending those letters. I can now leave and go do something else. So I can keep going and know that these will all be processed in the background, or I can just sit here and wait for those all to be submitted, which we'll do here because it didn't take too long. There we go. 59 mailings sent successfully. If I go view my document again, I can see all those addresses that were submitted, and then I can pull those up. And as they start getting mailed, so these have now been submitted to our print and mail provider. And once those get mailed the next business day, I can come back in here and see my tracking information, see when they've been delivered, and then hopefully get those buyer leads rolling in to buy my property.
You know, it's so funny. I remember when I talk to people about neighbor letters, it's always the extreme. No, I never do it. Or yes, I send out a lot. Like it's never in between. So for those of you guys that aren't doing your neighbor letters, you really need to. I mean, this should honestly now it's almost a no brainer. It's one of the easiest ways now that your data lives inside of Pebble. Immediately goes to this map and out it goes. Yeah, I mean, it really should simply be part of your process. There's no need to leave to a different system to grab the list of neighbors. It is all there inside of Pebble. And we do get asked. I get asked a lot. You know, how often is that map updated? So you can see. You know how often those parcels get updated inside of our system, and it is a lot of it is quite often. So
yeah, it depends on the county. We work
right.
with a company called what's the company, Jesse?
Report all.
Yeah. So we work with them, and they provide us with all the parcel details, and they are updated. They get their information from one of the big data houses, so they process a lot of properties, and they typically are about a couple months, depending on the county, with how often they refresh the data. So
yeah, we're pretty much testing that and working on that right now. I think fairly soon, you may be seeing something in the system. It will probably, maybe I'm jumping here, but it will probably be there before next update roundup. But we're well in there already. So stay posted. We may do another demo of this. I don't know. We'll definitely be making an announcement for this, just because I know a lot of people are waiting for a tool like this. So,
and we've got some plans to do some more really cool things with mapping and letting you really kind of target things and create campaigns from maps and do all that. So those will be coming.
The map alone just opens up a lot of different possibilities, and Kevin and I are always sort of, well, we keep a close ear to what you guys are throwing at us and what you guys want to see. So there's definitely a lot of different ideas that we're going to be exploring. So yeah. And this last one here, unified owner and lead contacts. This one's Kevin, how would you sort of describe this?
Yeah, so this is this touches a lot of things. Basically, the way it is today, um when you import your list, we have the owner record, the owner details for each property. So like their name and their address. And then that's sort of just its own piece of data that's attached to every property. What we want to do is allow you to link those between properties. So when you have, say, a portfolio owner where you're pulling in a list where you've got multiple uh, multiple records are owned by the same owner. So we want to know that in Pebble. So when you look at one property, you can say, okay, this is Susie Smith, the owner, and Susie Smith also owns these 6 other properties. So when you're sending out a letter and you get a lead in, you can quickly know, okay, this person also owns these other properties. I need to open the conversation um, to potentially purchasing multiple properties. All of that information is really important, and we think that we can really do some cool things about maybe targeting multiple owner properties and or multiple property owners who own multiple properties,
Yeah.
and really tighten that up with how your contacts, especially your leads and how they relate to properties, come in, and how we sort of organize all that. So it's a big sort of back end deal. You shouldn't notice too much on the front end, but it will allow us to do some pretty cool syncing up of things down the road. So
Yeah.
stay tuned for that.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm super excited to see some of you guys really take the neighbor letter map tool selection. I don't even know how to phrase this map selection to mail tool. Really interested to see how you guys are going to be using that. Aside from that, I think we just had a couple questions that I do want to address here before we wrap up this update roundup. Some really quick ones here. Do you have a replay of the Blue Ocean webinar that you did? We do, but you do need to be signed up for that in order to view it, just to be fair to everyone. So if you did sign up, which a lot of you guys did, check your emails. It's in there, okay? You want to check that out as soon as possible before it gets removed. What else here? I think here we go. Here's a question from Frank. Just curious, you said we can reorder task lists now. Great. Are we able to reorder tags easily as they replaced the stages, or do we overwrite to get the order?
Yeah, so right now the tags will be ordered in the according to when they were created. So you'll see your newest tags at the top of the list, and then there'll be oldest tags at the bottom. The reason that we did that was because sometimes you have older tags that sort of you don't use anymore, so those will just naturally float to the bottom of the list. But you're right, I think we need to allow you to order those yourself. So we will do that. I don't have an exact timeline of when that will happen, but I think it's something people have asked for that as well. So that's something that I think we should do. So stay tuned.
All right, guys. Thank you very much once again for joining us on this month's update roundup. If you are going to sign up for that Blue Ocean strategy offer, make sure you do get that done. Also, we'll see you guys inside of Slack. Feature requests, do throw them in there. Ideas, anything, questions, throw them in there. If it's more support related, get it over to us through email. But we'll see you guys in Slack. Kevin, thanks for coming through again tonight. And we'll see you guys shortly here.
Thanks, everyone.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.